another beautiful, lovely hour of the African Portal Radio TV International. I thank you all that you are connecting to this broadcast this hour. I really appreciate your time on the African Portal Radio TV International, coming to you live and direct from our studio here in Pretoria, South Africa. It's going to be a beautiful, lovely conversation as we are preparing against tomorrow. It's going to be a great time. Tomorrow is 16th of December. Reconciliation Day in South Africa, and it's time to have the conversation, town hall meeting, where we bring all Africa together under one roof at UNISA. You need to be there. Don't miss this opportunity. Let's engage. Let's talk about it. What is dividing us? Why are we so divided as blacks, as Africans? Why are we hate ourselves so much? Why is it that there is no progress? And why is it that we love to bring ourselves down instead for us to lift ourselves up? Come, let's have this conversation. For those of you that you believe that you have the confidence that you can tear other African citizens apart, come out as well. Come, let's face ourselves face to face. Let's have the dialogue. Let's have the conversation. With that, I have with me in the studio one of the great leaders of our time, one of the great men doing well, believing so much in this continent, believing that Africa can get better and we can do better. I have with me Mr. Kennedy Mambe is in the house with me, that we're going to be asking him some questions about tomorrow. What is going to happen tomorrow? What the people need to know about tomorrow? What is this town hall meeting? What is it all about? Is it overdue? Is it really necessary? This will be some of the conversation that will be gaining momentum right here, right now, on the African Portal. I'm so excited to see you, sir. You are one of the great people believing in this continent, and I'm so excited. Let me allow you to introduce yourself to the listeners at home, who you are, where you are, and the position you hold in the society.
Good afternoon, my brother, and thank you again. And you know, I'm not a stranger to this platform. I've talked on a wide range of issues that affect our people around the world. But this afternoon, I'm here to speak and also to address your audience and the community around the world on the National Solution Focus Town Hall Meeting. National Solution Focus Town Hall Meeting on migrants who reside in South Africa. We have invited a wide range of policymakers, public officials, politicians, ministers, from Minister of Sports, Arts and Culture, Minister of Police, Minister of Home Affairs, Minister in the Presidency, and also faith leaders ranging who runs the gamut from Bishop Joshua to Titus Setole to Alf Lakua, and also people also in the foundation space, civil society, from Helen Suzman Foundation, Nelson Mandela Foundation, Rally Mampeule, who is, most of you will know, he's a very involved housing, affordable housing guru, and others in between. The list is long. Heben Mashaba, Kenyu Kunene, Mackenzie, all of them have been invited. So it's a very balanced invitation that has gone out, including Tuli Madonzela, people who are coming in and who have been involved on this issue around migrants in South Africa and how do we want to solve the problems as we define them logically and so in a very sober mannered way. And also we want to say, what is the action plan? Let me also state from the onset that I know that there's an interagency entity that is stationed in the office of the presidency that's supposed to be doing what I respectfully say I am pioneering and I'm trying to do now, to say we want to have a national dialogue. migrant organization representative from African Diaspora Forum to the Somali Association. Everybody has been contacted, invited to come to UNISA University tomorrow on Reconciliation Day, including, as we know, whether people like it or not, the Thabo Mbeki Foundation also has spoken on this issue or made some pronouncements around migrants in South Africa that also have caught the public's interest. So tomorrow we are going to have a solution focused conversation. People will have 5 minutes to say what is the problem, what is the solution, what is the way forward. And the timing of it also, obviously, my brother, is very significant because there's been a whole lot of talk around and among ourselves. But as a nation, we have not come in one or under the same roof to say the problem, as much as we might disagree on tactics and solutions, on tactics and strategy, but where are the common denominators? And based on the common denominators, we want to say, let's develop an action plan. And why also this happens at a significant time. If many of you, and I know my brother, you are in the media space, you know that in this week alone, this country and this continent has received international attention with the Secretary General of the United Nations, elections that have taken place in around and neighboring countries, and internally, major political parties have also met to close, be it EFF, MK today, South African Communist Party, ANC. So as a country, we are at the crossroad to define and also find a ways to deal with our internal problems and also our place in the world community. But issues around migrants who reside in South Africa, we do not have our arms around it. So the meeting tomorrow is intended to say all of us as leaders and also as stakeholders, let's come under one roof to say what is the way forward. Let's not allow ourselves to forever be reactive when others are talking around this issue. So all of them are invited to say problem, solution, way forward.
All right. Thank you very much. Problem, solution, way forward. And the good thing is that we are part of the solution. We are not part of the problem. We want to make sure that we find the solution to some of the problem. Let's quickly look at some of the things that will be getting momentum tomorrow. What are the things that you have analyzed or you have put together that will be taking place tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow it's a very unconventional town hall session. It's not going to be a talk show. It's going to be a forum where all of those panelists who have been invited to come and say, what is the problem? What is the solution? What is the way forward? And then we'll engage the audience. And then out of that, then we want to move forward. So we've extended invitation to a wide range of, like I said, stakeholders whom I know they are mobilizing their own constituencies to come, but also the public is invited. But we want to emphasize and stress that tomorrow we are focusing on solution and way forward, because migrant issues and migrant is not a South African problem, it's an international problem. And also in light of the fact that we also now, as you saw in my press release, I said it's very good and it's good that we are rolling the red carpet for the G20. But let's also address this issue that we know that we have not put our arms around it, but in a very civil, cordial, respectful, and studious and real life practical way. Say how do we deal with it? Because yes, we know there are all kinds of different perspectives and views around it. But the commonalities from the past 2 months of mobilizing and organizing towards this event, uh, the response has been so extraordinarily positive that I think the resounding positivity we're getting about people who say we want to move beyond just talk, action, and also program action is what has encouraged us. And I've been calling and dealing with you 24 hours, all kind of strange hours of the night, engaging you and others who are involved in this matter. So it's a very humble, respectful appeal to everybody to come, support, participate, and then with an eye on looking forward. Because as South Africans, and as Africans, we are not afraid of dealing with challenging, difficult issues. And this one is also one of those challenging, difficult issues that I think coming out of tomorrow's session will be able to show the world the way forward.
All right. A lot of people say this is not really important. A lot of people say that we don't need this dialogue. A lot of people say that all they want is just to make sure that the African living in South Africa take their bag and go back to their houses. Will this be part of the things that we're going to be discussing tomorrow?
Tomorrow, that is why, my brother, we said that you come and say, what is the problem? What is your proposed solution and the way forward? We are not holding back on anything. That's why I was saying that everybody is talking in their own independent silos, and misconceptions and also untruths is also being articulated along the way. So tomorrow we want to be able to say, you supposedly and also responsible leaders, and also public policy leaders and influencers, come out and say, this is how I see the problem, this is the solution, and this is what I think should be the way forward. So any misconceptions people have, or also what is factual, such as we know that there's violence and there's issues around crime that is blamed or attributed to foreigners. Let's come and talk, and the statistics, Mr. Minister of Police, tell us what statistics say, and we back them up with A, B, C, and D. This is the way I think we should move forward. Mr. Minister of Home Affairs, the backlog that you are dealing with, that you want to automate, you want to fix the system, and then moving forward, this is what you are articulating and you are asking of everybody, the country and people who will be in that room. Minister in the presidency, we have had a dormant intergovernmental agency that's supposed to be dealing with these migrant issues. How are we moving forward doing this? So I'm not being prescriptive in that sense. I'm saying we're going to be, as in the street people say, open book. Everybody must be open book, but also with an eye on solution. We're not, this platform is not intended for people to come and scream at each other. We want them to be able to say from where they sit, where they are. This is how they see the problem. This is how they are advancing and proposing as a solution. And then all of us collectively, I emphasize collectively, then develop an action plan that will have a national stamp on it. And then even though, just like an attempt have been made or are being made around national identity. And I pause to say, we as South Africans now, we are developing an identity that says that we are part of the world, which is why we can then, out of the consciousness of the rainbow tradition and South Africans who understand issues of human rights, we are not afraid to go to international court and say, what is happening in Middle East by Israel is wrong. punish us, talk about us, do whatever you want, but we think that from a moral, righteous standpoint, we think this issue must be brought to the table. And look at what has happened as a result of South Africa. Again, South Africa, out of all of these world nations, has stepped up to go to international court and say we do not agree with what Israel is doing in the Middle East. So part of what I am proposing, and I suggested we must strategic partners, is to say we must also the bravery and the guts and the gallant attitude we showed going to international court. Let's do the same also dealing with migrants in South Africa and lead by example, because there's no leader anywhere in the world who's dealing with migrant issues. The UK tried to send migrants to Rwanda. It did not work. It's in violation of all kinds of international human rights states. So South Africa must now stand up and show leadership in dealing with migrant issues. So tomorrow's event is intended to bring all of these capable men and women to say, let's deal with the issue.
All right, thank you very much. A lot of people are connecting with us, and I thank you for those of you that are watching us on the African Portal and those of you watching us on all social media. Thank you very much for watching. Please kindly share, like, comment, send this out, invite somebody, tell somebody to tell somebody about this town hall meeting tomorrow at UNISA main campus. You have to be there. Let's come together. Let's dialogue. This is about dialogue. It's not about the pointing the fingers. It's not about the blaming each other. It's about coming together, identify the problem, find the permanent solution to the problem, and move forward. Let's design a system that will move this continent forward. This continent deserves the best. And with the blessing that we have in this continent, when we come together, we can benefit, we can use it, and we can also keep something for the incoming generation. And that is what the focus of this town hall meeting is based on tomorrow. So I'm inviting every one of you, no matter where you are, come out, let's do it together. Don't stay in the box. Come out of the box. Come and say your mind. Let's look to it together. Let's solve the problem together. Is a problem. Speak out is a problem solved. So let's come together, speak your mind, and let's look how we can solve this problem and make it. It's tomorrow, 16, and it's Reconciliation Day in South Africa. Happy Reconciliation Day to all South Africans ahead tomorrow. Thank you very much for coming out, sir. We really appreciate the great work you are doing. You've been running around for over 1 month now to make sure that this program come to reality. And tomorrow is just upon us, and it's going to be a great day. Before I let you out of my way, I know you have 1 or 2 people that you also want to remind them that it's tomorrow, the time and the venue. Please go ahead and let them know the time, the meeting time, the venue, and the people that needs to be there as early as possible. Go ahead and do that.
Yeah, again, I want to thank you for the opportunity to be on the platform. And the invitations, like I said, has been extended to all those key stakeholders from the ministries within government, and also faith groups from Title Sitole, Lukwau, and also a bishop and activists in the civil society, and also friends in the business circle, like I said, from Mr. Mampeule, Morosi, and others. But the community must come out and be part of this conversation that is forward-looking and also is solution-focused. And that's what we would like to see tomorrow.
All right, solution focus is what we are going to see tomorrow. So be there. Don't miss the opportunity. Let's come together. Let's sit side by side. Let's have the conversation. It's a dialogue program, and it's going to be a lovely time. Sir, before I let you out of my way, what time you want people to be arriving tomorrow? Please mention that at the venue.
8:30, between 8:30 and 9 will be fine. If the
Okay, is the program
it will be at the
starting at 9
auditorium.
o'clock?
Yeah, we're starting promptly at 9 o'clock. It will run from 9 until 12 o'clock, yes.
All right, the venue again?
It's UNISA University. And now UNISA also, one must also add and indicate that, you know, the history of UNISA is one of the universities that has educated, accommodated a wide slew of African leaders and international who have gone on to do great things in their respective countries and in the world, but also has the highest concentration of African students, so-called migrants, who also have graduated and have been part of UNISA University. So UNISA is an important institution also in relation to the discussion we are talking about. And we are pleased that they have been hospitable enough and willing to partner with us in this endeavor. So we look forward to a very productive, successful, and tranquil event tomorrow.
A lot of people will be listening to us. They will be confusing you to know where exactly you are from and what you have been able to achieve in the community in the last years. Can you please tell us a bit about yourself and what you have achieved that make you to stand out and say, yes, we have to talk about this?
Now, the question you are saying you are getting, I've received it as I was going around. I've been a migrant who have lived in the United States for 23 years. So I was a migrant in the US. I have traveled around Africa, Europe, Asia, and the Caribbean. So migrant experience has been personal and also real for me. But I've also been involved in organizations and groups, from African Diaspora Forum as an advisor and a colleague, to also as a political activist, as a South African, and also in my other capacities. So my company, and in my personal and company capacity, this has been one of the things that I have engaged and I have pursued and that I hold very dear to my heart. And also realizing that we have people in our midst who have shared with me solutions and proposals as to how we as South Africans and as Africans can deal with migrant issues. But some of them have been intimidated, afraid, and scared out to say, let's come together and bring all of these entities into one room so that we can have the discussion. So in terms of my credibility and standing, I've been involved with this matter for over 25 years. In my company capacity, in my personal capacity, and also as a citizen of the world, and as somebody who believes and adheres to rational, pragmatic, Pan-African, and also a Black conscious unity standpoint and perspective, that we as Black people, we have reached a stage where we must have a conversation about this issue and take solutions from each other, because as much as we might disagree here and there, but on the fundamentals and way forward, there's a lot of commonality, and I've heard it from a whole slew of them. So I'm stepping out to say, let's all please come out. Those of you who have been telling me on the sidelines and also have been having conversation in your silos, come out. Let's have this conversation in one room, under one roof, and forge ahead. Identification of the problem to the degree we can agree on, the solution, but over and above it all, action plan? Where do we go from here?
All right, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us. Where do we go from here? Is what is going to be the final conclusion tomorrow. So don't miss this opportunity. 8:30 tomorrow morning. Let's meet UNISA. That is the main campus. Please be there. Don't miss this opportunity. African Portal Radio TV will be there as well. That we are going to make sure that this is going live and a lot of people can connect as well across Africa and globally. So please be part of this great conversation. Let's sit down. Let's talk. Let's move Africa forward. Remember that we used to say on the African Portal, eat Africa, speak Africa, wear Africa. The African Portal is home for all the Africa, where we discuss issues that have to do with the progress of this great continent, Africa. Thank you very much, sir, Mr. Kennedy Mambi. Thank you for your time, for coming out to be part of this conversation. I really appreciate the great work you are doing in the community, especially in Attribute, where you base. Thank you so much. Keep shining, keep smiling, keep doing the great work. See you tomorrow, and goodbye from here. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you very much. This is where we're going to be drawing the curtain for this hour. We'll see you again tomorrow. Join us tomorrow. The African Portal will be the venue, and we are going to make it happen together. Don't miss the opportunity to mingle. Don't miss the opportunity to discuss the issue that will move this great continent forward. Enjoy the rest of your day, and happy Reconciliation Day to all South Africans in advance. Have a beautiful afternoon, have a beautiful evening, and have a beautiful night if your time is night. I greet you according to your time zone, and I greet you according to your language. Thank you very much for the pleasure of your time. See you again, and see you tomorrow. Goodbye. My name is Dan.